Production for Panther Sports Talk is brought to you in part by the following supporters of WEIU.
Welcome to another edition of Panther Sports Talk right here on WIU. I'm your host, Rich Moser. We're joined every week by head football coach Kim Dameron. And, Coach, you come off your first week here. You play at Minnesota. I guess, well, before we talk specifics, I guess your first day as a head coach, and you had some other emotions going. I don't know how many people know this. Congratulations. You were a grandfather the day before your daughter gave birth, I think about 3 to 4 weeks early. And I guess from that standpoint, the timing couldn't have been any better because they were en route to drive from Oklahoma, and that would have been the story of the game had they gotten to the game.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel very, very blessed that she delivered on the 27th, the day before the game. And actually, before they left, she lives in Omaha, Nebraska. And so they were supposed to leave that afternoon. And she called me that morning early and said, "Dad, there's been a change of plans. I'm in the hospital right now." And she gave me all the specifics, which I really didn't know a whole lot about. But anyway, at about 2:30 that afternoon, Emma Elizabeth Johnson was born. And we are just proud as we can be. And first grandchild. And so, it's I have just the one daughter, so I'm pulling for her to have a lot more.
Now, you take that emotion, and I know that as a coach, you don't want that to change your focus, but I know personal things always outweigh the professional things. So you take that joy into the game, and the game started out, I think, kind of the way you guys wanted. You played well on defense, you got a turnover, had an opportunity to score early, and really, even though you didn't make the field goal, you guys were right there, and one mistake on our side, and it's a 7-0 game at halftime.
There's no question about it. We felt going in at halftime that, gosh, we've really done some good things, and we look up and we're down, 14, and it's like, well, you can't, turn the ball over in your end of the field. You can't turn the ball over going in. You can't, and that was the story of the game. Basically, was that we gleaned a lot of positives out of the game because we played a quality opponent. A Big Ten football team, and really up front, we felt like we held our own on both sides of the ball. We did some good things in the running game. We did some good things in the passing game offensively. We had over 400 yards of offense. We just didn't finish anything. And then, of course, the thing that, to me, was the biggest disappointment was getting a punt blocked. That's just something you cannot do, and it's something that we definitely have addressed and will address. And, the things that we have to do now is we just have to get better and quit shooting ourselves in the foot and then learn to execute on a more consistent basis.
Now, football, as everybody knows, is a game of momentum. It's either swings during the game or even can go week to week. You've got to feel good as a coach and as a team that you guys finished the Minnesota game very strong. You scored all of your points in the last 7 minutes. Really a never-say-die attitude. The fact that, I think you had 3 opportunities at the onside kick.
They just kept giving us the ball. They kept letting us kick it, and so I figured, odds are we're going to get one, But, the biggest message that I wanted to send to the football team was never, don't look at the scoreboard. Just go play. And until they tell us, hey, the game's over, we're going to keep attacking. We're going to keep trying to score. We're going to, it wasn't a deal where, well, okay, let's go get on the bus and let's make sure we don't, we came out extremely healthy. We went up there, we fought hard, we fought for 60 minutes. I was proud of the effort that we gave. We just have to do things better in the turnover and kicking game areas. And we I thought we, kind of wore down defensively a little bit at the end and gave up some drives we shouldn't have. But, those things happen. And when you go play an opponent that is that big and that physical and that strong, that happens, towards the end of a game.
Now, the talk going into the season, and probably will still be for a few weeks, may end up being the talk for the entire season, is the 2-quarterback system. It seemed to be effective there against Minnesota. Both, I think, players had good numbers in the area where you thought that they were going to be strong, but they were effective in the other areas as well, which is going to with you as a defensive coordinator, I'm sure if you're on the other side now of Southern Illinois or any other opponents, you wanted maybe one of those guys not to do so well, but so you've got to be happy with what you saw on tape for both of them.
I really am. We missed some reads in the pass game, and we missed some reads in the run game where we really could have had some explosives. And that's something that doesn't show up on TV and stuff like that. But I mean, if Jalen pulls the ball a couple times, I mean, he's off to the races. And even with the thing that I thought was really good is the guy that's supposed to be the thrower. He scored running. Yep. And so, as a former defensive coordinator, I know how difficult it is when somebody can play two different people and that have different skill sets, but they run some very similar offenses, but not always the same, and they have certain things that you have to prepare for. And it almost makes it to where you have to have two game plans. So as long as it doesn't take away from what we're trying to do offensively, I don't see any reason not to play good football players and to give them a chance to help our team win.
Now, in the backfield, my other question for you, and I kind of politically try to figure out how to ask it. You two all-conference running backs from last year.
We didn't give it to him enough.
Okay, that's what I was going to – and I don't know if that was part of what Minnesota allowed you to do or kind of –
somewhat, but that's something that we noticed immediately after the game. We start looking at the stats and all that. Is we have to get we got to get Taylor Duncan and Shepard little more touches that are not read plays and not where we actually just give it to them and or throw it to them with a little bit more of the screen game stuff and all that. So yeah, that's something that in a first game and you go in and the kind of dictates. Plus, when you do get behind, it does make it a little bit harder to be able to just turn around and hand the ball off all the time. But we're not going to use that as an excuse. It's something that, as an offense, for us to be as good as we need to be giving them the ball more.
Now, on the defensive side of the ball, since that is kind of your pedigree, you guys played a lot of new guys in terms of either new to Eastern or new to the system that you guys incorporated here under the defensive side of the ball. Mm-hmm. Were you pleased with maybe one or two guys that you thought kind of stood out and kind of maybe showed you some things that they might be able to have some big years in this type of defense?
Oh, yeah, there's no question about it. Adam Gristick played his hind end off. He really did a good job and made plays and ran the defense. And, Kamu did some good things. He led our team in tackles. Up front, we rolled in some guys, and the guys that the Dino Fontes, the Fedney Delfonses, guys who have played a lot of football here, and they're new to the system, but they're not new to playing defensive tackle and defensive end. And so, Fedney got his first sack, and I just felt good about the overall plan that we had defensively, and I really felt like that we played hard. And we played hard for 60 minutes. We kind of wore down at the end, but I liked the attitude and the intensity of our defense.
Now, you change focus now and you go to play Southern Illinois this weekend. They come in, a nationally ranked team, a team that was people I think are expecting to maybe make some noise in the Missouri Valley Conference this season. How do you kind of put the other loss behind you against Minnesota now and really get the team just to focus on the task at head, which is Southern Illinois?
Well, that's something that obviously that's a challenge, but it's something you better do because if we're looking back, they'll hit us right in the head. So the thing that we have to look at what we have to do to get better. They're opponent number 2, basically, and so we always have to be looking forward. But we know they're going to come in here ready to play. They've already said that they felt like last year's game kept them out of the playoffs, and they do. Coach Lennox does a great job down there, and has done a great job for the last 6 years, and so we know we're going to get their best effort. And they've got 18 returning starters, a lot of them on defense. They're big and strong and physical up front. They got a heck of a running back, and they got a tight end that can play anywhere in the country. I've been in the SEC, I've been in a lot of different places, and that cat can play anywhere. So we've got a formidable challenge coming in.
Now you talk about him, the tight end you're talking about is Michael Pruitt. He was the first team All-American. Mm-hmm. The second team All-American is on your team, Jeff Lepak. But they're two different types of tight ends. Yeah. Jeff is probably more of a a receiver that can move in, whereas Pruitt is more of the NFL body type of tight end that people see. What kind of challenges does he bring that maybe you haven't seen, or are you going to have to do something different to gimmick against him?
Well, I think in everything, without giving too much away, I mean, you have to know where he is all the time. You also got to understand when are the times that they really try to get him the football, which are in crunch time, third downs, and things like that. So we better have a plan for him on those downs. And so, you know, and like you said, he and Jeff are different styles, both very effective in their way. But you know, he's a big physical kid, and he plays, you know, at the inline tight end. That we're asking Jeff to do a little bit more now. But you know, he can run. He's got great hands. He's very athletic, and so you know, we just have to make sure that we have a plan for him and know where he is all the time.
Now, Southern played Taylor University, which is in Indiana. I had to look it up. It's an NAIA school because people asked me where it was, so I had to have that knowledge. They beat them 45-0. It's not a comparable opponent to the Minnesota you guys played. What can you see on film, especially when they got up early in that game? Do they show you enough on film to be prepared for this second game, or is that maybe a little bit of an advantage for them that they didn't have to pull all the tricks out of the bag in the opener?
Well, I think it's definitely an advantage for them in the fact that, like you said, they really didn't have to do a lot of things, and I'm sure that they've held some things back, you know, especially with a new quarterback and all that stuff. But, you know, I really feel like they're going to come in. They want to get the ball to their playmakers. I don't see them just coming in and throwing it 60 times or something like that. I just, you know, they're going to be who they are and who they have been and the way they've been successful over the years. And so, yes, as far as this team is concerned, it's a little harder to get ready for. But as far as who they are and what they're going to do, I really don't think it's going to change that much.
Now, defensively, I'm assuming they're playing the same system they saw last year, and you said a lot of starters returning. That's got to be good when you're looking at film. Now, do you look specifically kind of at the film where they played Eastern last year, or do you look at some of the games that maybe a style that's similar to what you guys are running this year to see what matchups might favor you guys?
Well, I think what you look at, the thing that you can look at, or what I've looked at from the way they played Eastern last year, is just physical matchups a little bit, how our offensive line might have blocked their defensive ends, who they have two quality defensive ends, and you know, those types of things, how our runners looked running against their guys. But that's more just personnel type of things. As far as schematically, I don't see it being anything similar, because I mean, basically against us or against Eastern last year, they basically dared them to run it and just drop, and said, hey, we're going to try to stop number 10, which number 10 still lit them up. But, you know, so you have to look at both. And so there are still some question marks as far as, you know, exactly how they'll try to attack us now that they've seen us play. Now, one thing that they haven't seen is, you know, they haven't seen us play against a defense of their style. So they still have some question marks about that, because they haven't seen us really against a 3-4, because Minnesota was more 4-down stuff. And so, you know, this early in the season, there's always question marks. There's always challenges. And the thing that we have to do, though, is we have to make sure that we execute down in and down out and be more consistent in those areas.
All right, Coach, the home opener for you, going to be some extra jitters, I'm sure. You have some family members. I know your dad's going to be there, and maybe your daughter's going to be there with the new grandbaby?
No, I don't think she's going to be able to make it right now. But, yeah, my mom and dad, if they can get there, they get there. My dad was chomping at the bit to go to Minnesota, but they just couldn't make that happen. But, you know, I plan on them being here, and we've got some other family coming up and friends and things. And so, yeah, there's that, but my focus is going to be on Southern Illinois, and they all know that too.
All right, Coach, best of luck. The game is at 6 o'clock. It's the home opener at O'Brien Field. Also, you can hear Coach on the EIU Coaches Show on the radio on Hitmix 88.9 Thursday nights, 6:30 to 7. So hopefully you'll tune in for that if you don't get all the knowledge you want from Coach here on the football version of this on Panther Sports Talk. We'll be right back with This Week in EIU Athletics.
Out of the pistol, Little again. Another good hold. Now he will break away. He'll score. 20, 10, 5.
Eastern Illinois Panther football is on WEIU. The back-to-back OVC champion Panthers of EIU kick off their 2014 home schedule as they welcome longtime rival Southern Illinois to O'Brien Field for the 69th meeting between EIU and SIU. It's the Panthers and Salukis Saturday at 6 on WEIU, your home for Panther football.
Panther fans, here's what's going on in Panther athletics. Panther football kicked off the Kim Dameron era last Thursday, and EIU drops their season opener to Minnesota 42-20. Volleyball got the 2014 season underway in Muncie, Indiana at a weekend tournament at Ball State. EIU starts the season off 2-1 with victories over Ball State and Western Illinois. Women's soccer now 0-4 on the season after losses to Marshall and Louisiana Tech at Lakeside Field this past weekend. Men's soccer got their season underway as they split their two season opening matches at Lakeside Field. Their win came against St. Francis. Women's rugby opened the 2014 season at the Wisconsin All-Stars, and EIU fell by the score of 64-5. And men's and women's tennis hosted alumni matches at Dartling Courts this past weekend. Now, here's what to watch for this week. On Friday, women's soccer continues their non-conference play at Lakeside Field as they host Missouri, Kansas City at 3 p.m. Cross country opens up their season as they host the Walt Crawford Open on the Panther Trails. Competition starts at 4:45 with the women's race, the men's race to follow at 5:30. Volleyball continues non-conference tournament action as they begin play at the Western Illinois tourney in Macomb. The Panthers will play host Western Illinois at 7 p.m. EIU and WIU played just last weekend at the Ball State tourney. Men's soccer returns to the field as they will be at the Bears of Central Arkansas at 7:30 p.m. On Saturday, volleyball with two more matches at the Western Illinois tourney. They will take on St. Louis at 10 in the morning, and then at 5 p.m. they'll square off with UTEP. EIU Hall of Fame luncheon will take place at noon at the MLK Union on the campus of Eastern Illinois University. And Panther football with their home opener at O'Brien Field at 6 p.m. EIU will battle in-state rival Southern Illinois. You can watch that game on WEIU TV, or you can listen to it on Hitmix 88.9 WEIU. On Sunday, women's soccer continues their long homestand at Lakeside Field to start the season as they meet up with IUPUI at 1 p.m. Men's golf with the first of 4 fall tournaments. They will be at the SIU Edwardsville Invite for 3 days of competition. On Monday, men's golf continues play at the SIUE Invite, and men's soccer with another match at Lakeside Field as they battle Culver Stockton at 4:30 p.m. And next Tuesday, September 9th, men's golf wraps up competition at the SIUE Invite. Reporting for Panther Sports Talk, I'm Brad Kubiak.
Going to give it to Duncan straight ahead. Dives over the top.
WEIU is your home for Eastern Illinois Panther football.
There's some pressure. They block it. They block it at the 5. It's rolling free at the end zone. Touchdown, Eastern Illinois.
Panther football greats.
Garoppolo rolling out to his right. Pump fake. Steps up. Looking. Throwing the bomb. Going for Gober. Back of the end zone. Touchdown, Eastern Illinois.
WEIU is your home for Panther football.
TCF Bank Stadium in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Tonight, the 2014 season opener. The Eastern Illinois Panthers set to take on the Golden Gophers of Minnesota. Panthers 3 down linemen, blitz 5, blitz 2, handoff up the middle on the draw. That goes nowhere. Cobb on the handoff. Dino Fonte got him around the knees, brought him down right at the line of scrimmage to foil that draw play. They're in the shotgun on first down. Whitlow fakes the handoff, rolls right, throws in the flat, and it's caught by Drake at the 30, close to a first down. On his first pass attempt, Whitlow hits Drake. They motion Duncan into the backfield, run the option to the left. Whitlow keeps at the 50, 45, close to a first down, got it. It looks like at the 43. Leitner back to pass, being pressured, being sacked, and he fumbles. And the Panthers have it, I think, at the 28-yard line. Leitner, who's had a history of kind of fumbling, lost the ball, and Eastern has recovered at the 28-yard line. Kamu Grugier-Hill comes out with the football for the Panthers.
That was a bad play by the quarterback, Mitch Leitner. It wasn't that sack was a surprise. He could see the pocket collapsing around him as the Panthers did a great job of applying pressure on the quarterback. He just failed to secure the football. It got poked out, and Eastern has a huge break.
They hand it up the middle. Cobb picks his way, hit near the line, and taken down at the 31. no gain at all, as Spedney Delphon made a nice play for Eastern coming down the line, and he grabbed Cobb up high and brought him down right at the line of scrimmage. Delphon's a junior out of Naples, Florida. Out of the shotgun. Here's Leitner, back to pass, steps up, throws over the middle, short pass, knocked away and nearly intercepted. Making the play for Eastern was Adam Gristick over the middle on a short pass intended for Logan Hutton. It'll be 4th down. Good defensive play by Gristick. Gophers lead 7-0. Leitner back to pass, a lot of time, steps up. Now he's going to grab, and they can't get him down yet. Now they finally do, back at the 49. 2 wide outs each way. Shotgun snap. Whitlow back to pass, screen over the middle, caught by Little. Stiff arms the man to the 20. 25, got up to the 27. Nice open field run by Shepard Little. First down, they fake it. Whitlow keeps around the left end, room at the 35, 40, 45 to the 50, and an ankle tackle and another first down for Eastern. Jack Lynn, the strong side linebacker, brought him down by the ankles at the Minnesota 49-yard line. Fake handoff, they give it to Williams, and again he's tackled for a loss. The Panthers hit him behind the line and stop him. And Panthers with the blitz that time, and Robert Haynes came in from the near corner on 2nd down, 6 to go. Manley back to pass, pressure, throws it off on the right, hits Drake, turns outside at the 40, got a first down, up to the 43. Adam Drake with the catch. Here's Jalen back to pass. Steps up to run, got room to go at the 30, 35, first down, 40, slides down at the 44. 4 wide receivers runs down wide to the left for the Panthers. First and 10 at their 25. Whitlow, quick pass to the left, it's going to be a double pass. It's out to Lepak. He's going to throw it back to Whitlow, catches at the 20. Whitlow 25, blockers in front 35, 40, and out of bounds at the 45. A double pass, and it goes to completion from Jeff Lepak to Jalen Whitlow. Whitlow back, looking. Now rolling out to his left, throws it out of the left side. Man wide open, Bravo Brown at the 50 to the Minnesota 45. Broke a tackle to the 40, stopped there at the 39, and it's another first down, a 16-yard pickup. And a handoff to Cobb, hit hard and dropped behind the line. Robert Haynes came bursting through the right side of the Minnesota offensive line, and he rocked Cobb's world right after he took the handoff. Leitner reaches under center, hands up the middle to Cobb, trying to break it outside on the left. He's grabbed and going to be dropped. Anthony Standifer made a nice play, and check it, that's Jordan Wycliffe, who grabbed Cobb up high and then just kind of wrestled him down back at the 20-yard line for a 3-yard loss.
That was a very nice play by Wycliffe as Cobb was trying to put a couple of moves on him and wouldn't bite on him.
Leitner gives to Kirkwood. He's drilled behind the line. Dino Fonte got in there and dropped him back around the 5 or 6-yard line. Need to get to the 22. Manley back to pass. Steps up. Throwing to the right. Got Drake at the 20, and he's got a first down at the 18-yard line. Drake slanting to the middle. Made the catch on the 4th down play. Manley going to go to the pistol now with Duncan behind him. There's the snap, option play. Manley's going to keep it and go in for the touchdown. Andrew Manley cut back, found an opening over right tackle, and slid over for the first touchdown of his Panther career, his 3rd career touchdown. 3rd and 10 for Eastern at their 25. Here's Manley. Takes the snap, they blitz him. He's back to pass. He's going to throw deep down the middle, and it's caught at the 50-yard line by Joe Powell for a first down. Good job by Manley to stand in there against the rush and deliver the pass for a 25-yard gain. 2nd down, 3 to go. Manley back to pass, setting up a screen on the right, flares it out there, hits Lira at the 10, hurdles a man at the 5, and runs it in for the touchdown. Jimmy Lira, the senior from Lake Park, Florida, caught that pass around the 10-yard line. Looked like he was going to be tackled at the 8, and he hurdled the man and then kept going for the touchdown.
That's the 2nd time we've seen a very nice hurdle. First time it was by Max Williams, the big tight end from the University of Minnesota. And that time Lira just went over the top at about the 5-yard line and then was walked into the end zone after that.
Here's the 2 steps, and there's the kick, and this time Minnesota, very high bounce, and Jeff Lepak recovered it. Thinking about going up and getting a rebound, Jeff Lepak, who is 6'6", jumped up out of a crowd and recovered it for Eastern. Clock moving with 10 seconds to go. Manley, first down and 10, down to 7 seconds. Back to pass, could be the last play. He's going to fire it high and deep into the end zone for Adam Drake, and he got it. Touchdown, Eastern Illinois. On the last play of the game, Drake made a terrific catch in the back of the end zone for a 32-yard touchdown pass.
I tell you, I've been watching Adam Drake make catches like that for quite some time, seeing him play at Charleston High School, and he never ceases to amaze me.
On the final score here, Minnesota 42, Eastern Illinois 20. Two-step drop, throwing the fade, going for Drake, and he's got it. Touchdown, Eastern Illinois.
Your home for Eastern Illinois Panther football, WEIU presents Panther Sports Talk. Host Rich Moser sits down with first-year head coach Kim Dameron throughout the football season as the Panthers look to make it 3 OVC championships in a row. Panther Sports Talk will also feature football game highlights and features on select EIU athletes.
Join us Wednesday at 6:30 on WEIU.
Production for Panther Sports Talk is brought to you in part by the following supporters of WEIU.